In Lesson 3, we're going to be talking about the major scale. I like to kind of define the major scale as the building blocks of music. Everything in the musical world kind of revolves around the major scale. So it's something you're probably familiar with. It sounds like this. But before we get into learning how to play one, we need to go over some basic definitions. The major scale is a sequence of musical notes in ascending and descending order. The notes of a scale will belong to a certain key, thus providing material for or being used to represent part or all of a musical piece. Key, broadly speaking, refers to the harmonic center or tonic, or also referred to as a root. In a key of, for example, C major implies that the piece evolves around the C as the root in the C major scale. Scales are made up of intervals between the notes they contain. Today we're going to be learning about diatonic scales, which contain 7 notes. Every scale we're going to learn and play is made up of a step pattern. We have a combination of whole steps and half steps. Now a whole step on guitar is basically you're skipping a fret. So from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret is a whole step. So you're skipping 1 fret. That's a whole step. A half step is from 1 fret to the next. So that's a half step. The step pattern of a major scale that we're learning today is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So we could actually play that just on 1 string. So starting on the 3rd fret, we can play our major scale with our whole and half step pattern. So play the first note, you got a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So play your first note, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So play that a couple times just to get used to the way it sounds, and then I'm going to show you a chart the way I want you to play it in 1 position. So let's make our first attempt at playing a major scale in 1st position. So 1st position, as you remember, means your 1st finger is on the 1st fret. But we're actually going to start with our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. That is an F sharp, so we're playing an F sharp major scale. So we're going to have our palm lightly on the bridge. We're going to fret the 2nd fret, low E string, with our 2nd finger. Then we're going to come to the 4th fret with our pinky. Then we're going to move down to the A string, 1st finger, 1st fret. Then 2nd fret, A string, 2nd finger. 4th fret, A string, 4th finger. 1st fret, D string, 1st finger. 3rd fret, D string, 3rd finger. 4th fret, D string, 4th finger. When you play your scales, remember, they are ascending and descending, so you always want to go backwards as well. You want to remember also to alternate your picking. Make sure you're playing the notes evenly spaced out. Now you can play this scale anywhere on the neck as long as you start on the low E string. So wherever your 2nd finger is, that is the root note or the scale that you're playing. So in your practicing, you'd want to practice this all the way up the neck. So you might start on the 2nd fret. Then move up to the 3rd fret, which is G. 4th fret. And so on. So start out slow. Make sure each note sounds good. When you're fretting the frets, you're right behind the fret. Now, earlier I said that a diatonic scale had 7 notes. And you'll see that when we play, there's actually 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th note is actually the same as the first one. That's called an octave. And we'll get into that more in lesson 4 and explain what that means.